Hello and good morning to all of you. If we assume the whole world as a human body for a moment, the position of India was like a heart for the British government. That's why Britain was ready to lose anything but India. It was the most lucrative colony Britain had ever had. But what happens during the Second World War, the more Britain was trying to capture India, the more it was slipping out of the British hands, as Japan had took control over Singapore, Japan has took control over Philippines, Indonesia, Malay Peninsula, and it was about to attack Myanmar as well. And Britain had realized by then that the distance of India is not far away from these tiny islandian countries, and it's a high time we took the help of Indian, then only we can control the rising power of Japan. Other than this, what had happened, that Chinese representatives, they had also visited India, and they understood the strategic position in the Second World War. They believed that India is the only country who can confront Japan from the Eastern Front. And this news was shared to British government. But amid all these things, a very huge development happens, and that happens on the 7th of December 1941, when all the US citizens were taking their morning tea. Japan demolished its one of the most beautiful cities, Pearl Harbor. It was completely unexpected attack from the side of Americans, and it shook the conscience of all the US citizens, and especially of Mr. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of United States of America. These incidents pressurized the British government to do something in the favor of India, because they knew that until and unless Britain is providing some political advancement, some constitutional advancement, India is not going to give its helping hand, and it will be very difficult for the whole world to control this Japanese army. And the wartime Prime Minister of Britain, Winston Churchill, he realized that all these kinds of situations are there. Moreover, on the Indian soil, Gandhi was also running parallelly the individual satyagraha. So Winston Churchill, he experienced the pressure from all the sides, and finally what happens, he invites to former Solicitor General of British government, whose name was Sir Stafford Cripps. And in history, this development is known as the Cripps Mission. My friends, the Cripps Mission comes to India in the year 1942, and he presents some of the provisions whose objective was somehow to win the confidence of Indians, somehow to get the assistance of Indians during this Second World War, when Britain and rest of the countries are standing in a very, very serious situation. And the first provision which was presented in this Cripps mission was related to dominion status. The second was related to Constituent Assembly, how it will be formed, what will be its nature, and the third was right to secede. As far as the first one, the dominion status was concerned, Congress was completely against it. In fact, when the whole cripps mission was presented, Gandhi comes forward and he says that it's a post-dated check, because British government or the cripps had told that all these things will be fulfilled once we are coming out of this war. And Gandhi told that it's a post-dated check because you are saying everything will be fulfilled after the world war. But my friends, what happens that this dominion status was denied by the INC, because you know the demand of dominion status had already, it was a very old demand from the side of Congress. It was first time it was presented during the Nehru report in 1928. And as I always say that, I mean, this is the time of 5G and you are giving us 2G, then how can we get convinced? So the first thing which was completely denied. The second thing was related to the structure of the Constituent Assembly, where in the cripps mission it was mentioned that at that time there were so many rehearsals. In the cripps mission, a provision was there that some people who were the representative of these rehearsals, they can nominate. I am emphasizing over the word nomination. It was written in this cripps mission that they can nominate their representative. But my friends, INC was again against this provision, because INC at that time, Indian National Congress at that time, did not believe in the word nomination. They were giving more emphasis to the election, because they knew that election is far better than the nomination, as it represents the aspirations of the people. You assume if Prime Minister is being nominated, Prime Minister means in present situation, let's assume the Member of Parliament. I am not talking about those who are nominated by President, but if any real representative, if he is being nominated, then I don't think he will be the true representative of the aspirations of the people. So INC gave much more significance to the word election than nomination. The third provision was related to right to secede. In the cripps mission, it was said that whosoever is not agree, they can have their separate entity, they can have their separate country. And you know, if it was permitted, I think we would be having more than 576 countries. So all the provisions of the cripps mission were completely denied by the Indian National Congress. And as far as the point of view of Indian Muslim League was concerned, so they were only concerned about the Pakistan. They were dreaming Pakistan, they were drinking Pakistan, they were, I mean, you know, in everything Pakistan was coming into their mind. That's why what happened, that they also rejected the cripps mission, because the demand of Pakistan was not met. So you can understand that this cripps mission was a complete failure from the side of British government. Perhaps this was one of the reasons why Cripps, Sir Stafford Cripps, he packed his bag and baggages and returned to Britain from where he comes.